I'm the man now. Nobody ever gave a handout. For the stretch, talking grams loud. Cut them off, get a handout. Bro talk, what's that about?
What's going on, people? You know who it is. It's Tate Wiz coming live from the Man Cave as usual. For those subscribers out there that's not subscribed to the YouTube page, hit that bell. If you're not subscribed to my Twitter page, hit that bird at TAE_WIGGS. And of course, the website link is below. First, I want to talk about what's been going on around the league. First team NBA, second team NBA. I want to get on all of that. But first and foremost, I want to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and Tyronn Lue. How he's going to miss some games. Hopefully be back next week sometime on a Wednesday. See, he was dealing with some type of illness. Me personally just sitting back and just seeing where it's coming from. We know LeBron James blew up on Coach Ty Lue for, I don't know what the reason is. I'm not there. I can't read lips. I just think it's under the pressure that Tyronn Lue is probably stressing out because at the end of the day, he played in the NBA. He is a winner. He has won championships with the Lakers. And it's hard to be a coach and coach almost 16 to 17 different personalities. When you know you got one of your personalities is an alpha male on the floor. So LeBron James is expecting so much from certain players and also the coaching staff. LeBron James is one of those players. He holds everybody accountable for what they're doing for their actions. You can't. I don't know if you can come to LeBron James and tell him what he is doing wrong. I don't know because, like I said, I'm not there. This is just for me on the outside looking in. Can you say LeBron James is an alpha? Is an alpha male? He is. He's an alpha dog. He runs the locker room. We know he probably controls the music in the locker room, but the stress that he probably putting on Ty Lue is probably like nothing that Ty Lue ever faced in his life. You know, he's on the coaching staff with the Doc Rivers and the Boston Celtics and stuff like that, and play under Kobe Bryant. This is probably by far the most challenging job that Coach Ty Lue is right now is doing. Is operating. I'm just looking at the standpoint where who is to blame? How is he to blame? You could point fingers at Ty Lue, LeBron. Everybody keeps saying, oh, Ty Lue got to go. The coaches can coach, but the coaches don't play. The players play. I'm not taking no sides. Whatever is going on, they got to work that out between them. They got to hash that out. But I do feel that sometimes that LeBron James can probably be a little bit too much forceful on certain things when it comes to that coaching staff. At the end of the day, these are some of the guys LeBron James has brought to Cleveland to center around him to make his team better. He had his boys in there, D Wade and all these Derrick Roses. They got older. They got slower. So what does Kobe Altman? He blows the team up, make the team younger and faster. Like I said, like he said before, it's just certain things that's not going to go your way every night. Me, on the outside looking in, watching certain Cavaliers games, I'm going to be honest with you, LeBron James on cruise control mode. He turns it on when he's ready to. He says it's the best shape he's ever been in his career, but that record don't look like the best record that you had in your career. I feel like this team could be better than what they are if LeBron James would just take over for a jump and stop looking for his teammates always to take over. That's why they paid you the big bucks. Big buck players step up when it's big crunch times. And LeBron James don't step up the most when I thought he would step up the most. I mean, like I said, this is my favorite player. You know, most people can't kill their favorite player or be that hard on their favorite player. I just feel like LeBron James, even said last night, don't nobody make him step up when he needs to. LeBron James know when LeBron James needs to step up. I just want to see LeBron James just going that one Miami Heat tear that he had a couple years back when he was looking like this and he just took over. I'm looking for that LeBron James. I haven't seen that LeBron James. Right now, LeBron James probably going to make a playoff statement to some of these teams. And he know he plays Toronto tomorrow night. So we're going to see what LeBron James you're going to get. Is King James, playoff James, activated? I want to see that. First and foremost, Tyronn Lue is under a lot of scrutiny. He don't know if he's going to get fired. He don't know what's going on. He's trying to figure out if LeBron James is going to stay here. It's a lot going on with Tyronn Lue. They say he's having heart pain, heart problems. I just want to say this about Ty Lue. Wish him to a speedy recovery. Come back to the locker room because I know he's a competitor out there. When you play in the NBA so many years, you hate losing. So first and foremost, everybody wish Tyronn Lue a speedy recovery and get well. And boys need you back out there. You got Kevin Love back and he played tremendous. Fabulous. He get 2 thumbs up from me. That's an A. All right. The thing I do want to talk about, the MVP race is definitely on. I told you last week, James Harden was my favorite. Number 1, Anthony Davis at number 2. Number 3 was Damian Lillard. Number 4 was Kyrie Irving. Number 5 was LeBron James. And I had number 6 as DeMar DeRozan. So things has changed since then. Number 1, I'm going to do number 6. Number 6, Kyrie fell down from 4 to 6. DeMar DeRozan is still at number 5. LeBron James at number 3. I'm going to put Anthony Davis from 2 to 3. I'm bumping Damian Lillard up from 3 to 2. And number 1 is still James Harden. And the reason James Harden is number 1, best record in the league. This team is hot. James Harden is averaging 31 points per game, along with 5 rebounds and 8 assists. That's MVP type numbers on the scoring side. Then you look at Damian Lillard, who went from the 4 spot to the 2 spot, and he's averaging 26.7 points per game. So you might as well say that's 27. You round that up, averaging 4.5 rebounds per game, along with 6.5 assists. So that's 7 assists pretty much a game. And they backcourt is probably the most deadliest backcourt in the league. And like I said, it's a good game coming on tonight. The Rockets versus the Trailblazers. That right there is playoff admiration right there. That atmosphere is going to be crazy in Rip City. And it's hard. Who I want to win? Who do I want to see win this game? I'm going to go with the boys in Portland, man. I just like what they doing. CJ McCullough. You got Damian Lillard. Them boys is playing good. Mo Harkless, Ed Davis, the Chief, Al-Farouq Amino. Then you got Yusuf Nurkic. Man, them guys is on another planet. Them guys is playing great basketball, chemistry, Miles and the whole 9. But them boys in Houston ain't no bad bunch of themselves. You got a Gerald Green. You still got P.J. Tucker, CP3, James Harden, Nene, Clinton Capella, who is also having a standout year. So I'm looking at stuff like this, and okay, these are the guys who I think who are deserving of the MVP. James Harden may win the MVP this year. People thought he should have won it last year. But you know, this is different James Harden. Chris Paul by his side. Chris Paul, this how I make him look a lot better. Even though James Harden get away with a lot of traveling. But we say that for another show. When I'm looking at stuff like the most improved player. So my most improved players, you know what I'm saying? It's a good list to be on. Matter of fact, most improved player. I got Joel Ingles of the Utah Jazz, who's actually playing stand-up basketball this year, averaging 11.3 points per game, 4.2 rebounds to go along with 4.3 assists. He just bring that. He could check anybody from the 3 to the 2 to the 1, and he bring that nasty, that grit and stuff like that. I just like the way he played. You know, so I watched all the Utah Jazz games with Donovan Mitchell, the Spider. Them guys is on a tear, man. If they keep playing the way they playing, they can easily be in the mix for a playoff spot too. Because right now, everything in the West from 6 all the way down to 10 is pretty much a jockeying position. I'm gonna say 5th place with the Spurs at the 5. If you lose 2 games, you can easily go from the 5th place to the 10th place. That's how tight the West is right now. Then for another most improved, I got Nikola Jokic. I like the way he been playing for the Denver Nuggets. He got 17.7 points per game to go along with 10.5 rebounds, and he also has 6 assists from a big man. So not only he's on the glass, he's a great passer. He's a great facilitator. He put players in the right spot too. You got to keep your head on the swivel when you play with Nikola Jokic. The Joker gonna find you. Hey, that's his nickname right there. A lot of people know his nickname is the Joker. The Joker gonna find you. He's gonna find you. He can score in different ways, and he can hit the free throws as well too. So a lot of the big men that come from overseas are game changers. A lot of them are game changers. So I like what I'm seeing from that guy. CJ McCullough is another person who I got on the most improved player list. He's been doing this now for the last 2 seasons. I thought last year he could have been the most improved player too as well. Most improved player, I got him. He went 21.7 points per game, averaging 4 rebounds to go along with 4 assists. Those numbers improve every year, and he's playing alongside with Damian Lillard. That backcourt is one hell of a combo. And you can't take nothing away from them boys from Rip City. Yes, their games come on late because they play in the West Coast. I just feel like the only time they get that shot on ESPN because there's only 4 games on that night. And I feel like this team brings it every night. It don't matter who they playing or where they at, what stadium. You're going to get an A+ from their backcourt. Not only from the backcourt, but from the players, the coaching staff. I feel like this is one of the most unappreciated teams in the Western Conference to go along with a Damian Lillard and CJ Miles. I just feel like they unappreciated what they doing every night. And they going up against some giant killers. Every night is a must-win night in the NBA. You can't afford to go on a 3-game losing streak. These guys on a 13-game winning streak. Can they bump that up tonight on a 14-game winning streak against the Houston Rockets? Spencer Dinwiddie. For the Brooklyn Nets, I got him on the list for the most improved player, averaging 13 points per game with 3 assists. And this is him. He's a bucket getter. He's a walking bucket. He can get buckets, even though he went to the bench. He still get buckets, and he's proven every year on his craft. Even though he played with the Pistons, they trade him over to Brooklyn. He's a different type player. He's more smarter. He's learning the game better. And my overall winner, I got winning the most improved player, is Victor Oladipo of the Indiana Pacers. When the Pacers first got them, I was hearing media outlets saying, do you think Indiana can make the playoffs? A lot of people on TV said no. But if I reiterate on some of my videos, and I tell you go look back at my power rankings, I had this team like, I want to say 18 at the most in my power rankings. I said, if Victor Oladipo can find some way to turn into that Indiana Hoosier Victor Oladipo, and he was scoring, his team is scoring, this team would be a problem. And they are a problem. They got Domantas Sabonis. These guys are a problem. Victor Oladipo was an all-star this year. You know why? He was in Orlando. There was no leadership there. There was no veteran there. He goes to OKC. Who was his veteran? Tell me, please. Russell Westbrook was his veteran. Changed his diet. Show him how he's supposed to do. You need to do this on your off days. Do this when you playing. Do that. Watch more film. He watched more film on himself and other players around the league to make yourself better. When one player is only going 25% on their off day, you got to go 100%. Excuse me. You got to go 100% on certain things that you do. And Victor Oladipo get all the praise. He's averaging 23.3 points per game to go along with 5 rebounds a game, 4 assists. Now, one thing I do like, he's averaging 2.3 steals a game. And their coach, Nate McMillan, can be easily coach of the year. The boys are 4th place in the East. And a lot of people had them not making the playoffs. They had them as a 9th seed fighting for an 8th spot. I had them making the playoffs. I said, this team can be dangerous. I like what I'm seeing for Victor Oladipo and that young squad, Miles Turner. And Lance Stevenson is turning up too, like he always do. So that's my most improved players. Number 1 is Victor Oladipo. Number 2, Spencer Dinwiddie. Number 3, C.J. McCullough. Number 4, Nikola Jokic. Number 5, Joe Ingles. So when I switched it around, when I did it, I went down, looked down the list. I'm going to bump C.J. McCullough up to number 2. I'm going to side Spencer Dinwiddie down to 4. And Nikola Jokic up to that 3 spot. Because those 3 teams right now are in the playoffs. And even though Denver slide to the 8th spot, those 3 teams are making a push for the playoffs. So, like I said, Victor Oladipo, most improved player, is my winner. Winner will probably be C.J. McCullough. Number 3 be Nikola Jokic. And C.J. McCullough might be the dark horse. He may be the dark horse to win it, but I'm going with Victor Oladipo the way how he transformed his body and became that player that he became an everyday player. He's becoming a household name. And I was so shocked that the Cavaliers didn't pick him that year when he was available, but they drafted Dion Waiters. So remember that, folks. Remember, Michael Jordan made the world sick when he's the 3rd pick, and they picked Sam Bowie at number 2. Number 1 was Elijah Wan. So you got to look at stuff like that. So imagine if Michael Jordan would have went to the Portland Trail Blazers. We'd be all Blazers fans, huh? Back in the day. Another one, I'm leaving the good stuff for last because this right here, I want to create some controversy controversy with this one when I save it for last. 6 man of the year. You know, every year you hear the same names. Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, Eric Gordon. But this year, put a little spice into it, a little flavor. This year, coming in at number 5 for my 6 man of the year, Be Easy, Michael Beasley of the New York Knicks. And this is why. He had a hot January. He was on fire. He was in Flago. The team, he was on ESPN every night because he was a what? A walking bucket. He's averaging 12. He averaged 12.6 points per game. He's also averaging 5.5 rebounds to go along with 2 steals a game. 2 assists. Sorry about that, folks. 2 assists. Michael Beasley, if you put him on like a playoff contender team, come off the bench, he would give a lot of teams a fit. He's long, he's athletic, and he's a defender. And he can get to the bucket at will. But I don't playing overseas, going back and forth from the NBA to overseas. I thought that when he played overseas last year and he came back to the NBA, something about Michael Beasley was a little bit different. He just had a little bounce in his step, a little boogie in his walk. And I'm just seeing him just different. He looked more attentive out there. He looked more engaged out there on offense and defense. It was just a shame that Jeff Hornacek came out and said, they asked him what players have winning ways in their mind. And he said Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kristaps Porzingis. So basically, you saying Michael Beasley don't want to win? You saying all these guys don't want to win on your team? Kyle O'Quinn don't want to win? So what are you doing, Jeff Hornacek, to come to the media to say that about your team? I beg to differ. If Kristaps is healthy, they would be a playoff team. Hands down, whatsoever. I don't care what you're saying, they would be a playoff team. I can't believe you just threw your team under the bus like that, said only 2 players on your team have a winning attitude. I beg to differ in that. I don't buy it. That's BS. That's malarkey. That's baloney. Michael Beasley coming in at number 5 as a 6 man of the year candidate. Number 4, Terry Rozier of the Boston Celtics, averaging 10.9 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.7 assists. Terry Rozier, he's remind me of a young D Wade. I know I'm comparing him to a Hall of Famer, but you sit down and actually watch him play. He got that little step in him. He got that little boogeyman in him. One thing I do like about Terry Rozier, he does play defense. He's not scared of that moment. He's not scared to guard any player in the league at all. He probably be the reason why Marcus Smart don't come back next year for the Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart, he may get traded or he's going to be a restricted free agent. If Marcus Smart walks to another team, that right there, Terry Rozier come off the bench, would give the Boston Celtics new light. Of course, you got Gordon Hayward come back from that gruesome injury. I just think Terry Rozier just bring a different dynamic that Marcus Smart brings to the game. Marcus Smart plays more bully basketball, so he tends to draw more fouls. Terry Rozier is like a cat at night. Gets down, crouch down, and keep his head on the swivel. Play out of the pass lane, but one thing I do love, he play defense head up. A lot of players in the league don't play defense head up. This is more like playing the passing lane. But Terry Rozier is at people next. I definitely like when I see from him, man. He's definitely an Ohio kid too, so I like that about him. He's gonna play hard, man. Terry Rozier been playing hard since he was at Louisville when I was watching some games on TV. He's definitely one of the guys who bring it. I just like what I see. Then I'm looking at Eric Gordon, Jamal Crawford. Is at number 3. Jay Crossover. Man, lights out. Dude is 37 years old, and he's like he's about 23. The crossover game, crazy. Lose you in the hot second. Averaging a cool 11 points per game. Shooting almost 36% for the three-point line. What else do you want for Jamal Crawford, man? And the Cavaliers drafted him out of Michigan on draft night. And the Cavaliers traded him the same day to the Chicago Bulls for a power forward center named Chris Mihm. Look that one up. I'm dropping some gems on you guys. Look that one up. Players are getting drafted before they even put on the team's uniform just based upon what they seen on tape. And Chris Mims was a bust in the league. Played for the Cavaliers and do nothing. Barely, he was pretty much injury prone. I think he averaged probably no more than 8 points per game, probably grabbed 4.5 rebounds. He wasn't that typical guy, but Jamal Crawford was special, especially when he was in the tournament that year for Michigan. He's a special player. He's a two-way player. He's a scorer and a defender. And I like him too because he's coachable. And he's not he's not a me guy. That's what I like. He's not a me guy. He's more of a we guy. When I say we as a team. He want to win as a team. It's not I. He could have easily went anywhere and got paid big bucks to be a starter. That wasn't his niche. He said, you know what? I'll ride the bench. Come off the bench. Let the starters do their thing. When you need a big bucket, put me out there. I want them chanting my name. So when I make a big bucket, they be like, this team was down. Jamal Crawford came off the bench and gave out a quick 20. He's one of those guys. That's what I like about Jamal Crawford. Number 2 is Eric Gordon. 18 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. Still shooting lights out. The game is that much easier. And people have realized how big Eric Gordon is. He about 6'4", and he can get anywhere in the court that he want to because he's wide at the top. He don't have quick handles. It's Paul Pierce to have a quick crossover either. His crossover might be of Paul Pierce, Eric Gordon. It's not that quick, but if he catch you, it is lethal, and he got that release is awkward. So he's pretty much money. And what they got off the bench for the Houston Rockets is lovely. And the winner I got is Lou Williams. 23 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, and he averaged 5.3 assists. And I feel like he should have been an all-star this year. The only reason he didn't get it, he played for the Clippers. Not only played for the Clippers, no team in the NBA hasn't had a 6th man of the year in an all-star game. What's up with that? I feel like whoever the best 6th man is in the NBA from East or West, he automatically get a vote. You let the coaches vote those 6 men in. So that 6 man from the East come in, and that 6 man from the West come in. So this gets your brain molded for who you want to vote for at the end of the year. So Lou Williams is who I pick as 6th man of the year. Defensive player of the year. Woo! That's tough. We're gonna go through all that, but I'm gonna break it down to it like this. First team NBA. I got James Harden as number 1. Different guy, like I said, choose to be MVP. Number 2 is Kevin Durant, the sniper, the Slim Reaper. Number 3 is King James with the all-around game. Number 4, I got Anthony Davis, the unibrow, who can get anywhere you want to. And I got the crossover, the school bus driver, Kyrie Irving, first team All-NBA. Yes, Kyrie Irving. A lot of guys can get that first team All-NBA. It could be Russell Westbrook. Second team All-NBA, I got Damian Lillard. Number 2 would be Steph Curry. 3 is Giannis Antetokounmpo on second team All-NBA. 4th would be LaMarcus Aldridge of the San Antonio Spurs. He's been holding down even though Kawhi Leonard has been gone most of the season. Pretty much 85% of the season is gone. And LaMarcus Aldridge is holding it down. They 5th place in the West. Number 5, this is tough. I came up between either DeMar DeRozan or Russell Westbrook. I was still like trying to figure out who is it, Russell Westbrook or DeMar DeRozan. A lot of people say this should be a no-brainer, Russell Westbrook. I went with DeMar DeRozan. It was tough because you got to put Russell Westbrook on the 3rd team with a Paul George and guys like that. That's why. And Draymond Green on the 4th team. And Chris Paul. Those guys on the 3rd team. First team defense. Now this one, I like. Because Paul George lead the league in steals. Anthony Davis blocks. Karl Anthony Towns also right behind him in blocks. That had Draymond Green because Draymond Green is a Swiss Army knife. Put Draymond on anybody. Gonna talk trash to you. Like, I don't like the Warriors because my team is the Cavs. I don't like the Warriors. But real recognize real. When a team is good, the team is good. The team he played for is hella good. And Draymond Green is a Swiss Army knife. If you ain't been in the Boy Scouts, you don't know what Swiss Army knife is. I was a Boy Scout, so I know what the Swiss Army knife is. A Swiss Army knife, it could be a spoon. It could be a spoon in there. A corkscrew, screwdriver, fingernail clippers, a knife, scissors. That's what Draymond Green is to the Golden State Warriors. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can check everybody from the 5 down to the 1. He probably can guard your coach, too, if you want to talk trash. Draymond Green's, I got him 4th. And number 5 got Victor Oladipo because he's a different player out there, too, first-team defense. Second-team defense, I have LeBron James, CP3, Russell Westbrook, Steven Adams. Steven Adams is a true rim protector. I do definitely like what I see out of Steven Adams. He get the job done. You don't have to set no plays up for Steven Adams. It's going to board. They probably run one play for Steven Adams. Might be a little pick and roll action to the hook. It's automatic 2 points because he's going to either dunk it or he's going to the free throw line shooting 2. To be on it. And the crazy thing is, he's only 25 years old. That's a man right there. And number 5, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo as a second-team defense. He plays great defense. He brings a lot. I think the team feeds off his energy. And with their coach, Mike Putney. It's just different things. They get the same. I mean, even though they fired Jason Kidd, it's the same results. This team start off hot. They start off hot as a firecracker. Second half, they get lackadaisical. They got to come with that same energy in the first half as in the second half. If you don't come with that same energy in the first half to the second half, man, you're going to lose, man. You cannot take your feet off the gas pedal. You cannot. You cannot. And LeBron James made sure he didn't do that. Any player, I go to the Golden State Warriors. If you got the Warriors beat in the first half and you up by 15 points, and this is what teams fall in love with. They go by 15 points against the Golden State Warriors. Guess what they do next? They fall in love with the three-pointer. You can't do that. Not against the Warriors. Because guess what? As soon as you miss that 3, somebody's grabbing that rebound. But when you shoot it, just watch one of their games. A lot of their players leak out to the open floor. Easy baskets. You can't do that. Coach of the year. This is tough. I got Mike D'Antoni at number 5. Call it how you want it. Call it how you see it. Number 4, I got Terry Stotts of the Portland Trailblazers. Number 3, got the Denver Nuggets coach. I think that's Brandon Malone. I believe that's Brandon Malone in Denver. And number 2, it's always tough, Nate McMillan of the Indiana Pacers. Number 1 coach of the year. I'm going to go with Dwayne Casey, Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors head coach, Dwayne Casey, coach of the year. Right now, if I had to go with executive of the year, who's making good moves out there, you will have to go with either the Cleveland Cavaliers to turn their franchise around to be where they at, or I'm gonna go with the Houston Rockets GM, who's making great moves. So those are my two candidates right there. Cavaliers GM, Houston Rockets GM. This is what I'm seeing from the outside looking in. The moves they making to make these teams better. Like I said, y'all know who I am. Shout out to Runway Sneaker for the shirt. I'm Tay Wiz reporting live for the Man Cave as usual. Y'all know where at. Hit that website below. Peace.